Hello everyone, I am Joji and this is my knitting journal. Today is Monday, March 2nd, 2020 and this is journal probably number 46. I think so. Let me turn those notifications off. Sorry about that. And I'm so happy to be recording again. It's been longer than I thought it would be, but not too long. So I am back in the city. Last time I recorded I was still at our summer house. I am back in our city house, which is very small and it's a lot darker to record in than our summer house. I've been thinking about getting a camera to record this journal, because I see so many podcasts that have good quality and really good resolution when they show yarn and knitting, and I would really like to have that option, but I still haven't decided what kind of camera I need. I have two big cameras that I use to take my pattern photographs. I have a Canon 7D and a Canon 5D, but I think that none of them has the option to focus while recording, so I don't think that any of those cameras are good enough. So I'm still looking and trying to decide what I want to get. This journal is now over 2 years old. I am not big celebrating birthdays or anniversaries. I'm trying to get better at that. I just realized that I've been recording for over 2 years, and I also realized that I am not good at giveaways. I am not really good at enticing people to watch my show to the end of the show, but I have decided that I have so much yarn at home and probably I'm not going to be using a lot of it anytime in my life because I have way too much yarn. So I've decided that I'm going to do a small giveaway in probably not for every episode, but who knows, I might. And today I brought 3 skeins of yarn that I'm going to give away for the viewers of this podcast, and I'm going to tell you how to get into this giveaway towards the end of the show, so you have to put up with me and my very slow talking till the end. I know that many of you say that I speak very slowly and that I'm very relaxing to watch, and that some of you fall asleep. So if you do fall asleep, remember to just move to the end of the show so that you can participate. I have also realized after watching one of my own podcasts with a friend that I say a lot of and I have tried to consciously try to avoid that, but I don't think that's going to happen. So unfortunately, I'm still going to say a lot of and I'm going to pause a lot while I speak. So apologize for that. Okay. So I'm going to start talking about my works in progress. And okay, so this is what I'm working on. I haven't started any new projects. These are my socks that I'm working on, and I'm keeping them in my metallic rose gold metallic BA bag. This is the edition that we made for the holidays. So it's a regular BA bag from Joji & Co. Oops. but we combined metallic leather in the bottom and suede in the top, and then we added these two little rings, and so that you can use a strap, crossbody strap like that. And I used this one a lot as my purse, actually. But when I'm home, of course, I take this off and I just use my BA bag as my project bag. So I'm gonna leave the strap there. So the socks that I'm making are, I finished one, and they match my bag. So I'm gonna put the one I finished on this sock blocker. Okay. They are a bit big for the sock blocker, but that's okay. I have big feet. So I'm using 2 colors of sock yarn and 72 stitches. So they are not very tight fitting, and I like them like that. I am using yarn from, let's see, the dyer is called Mahoodly, and she's from the UK, from Brighton, and I'm using her 100% blue face Leicester 4-ply. It's a fingering weight or sock weight, and I'm using 2 colors. Mrs. Thornton, I believe it's this one, almost black, and Mina Murray is this one, pink or flesh color. And what I did is I did a 2x2 rib, and then a lace panel, and then really thin stripes, and then a heel flap and a pink toe. So a black heel flap and a pink toe. I really like how these 2 colors look together. I really like the way the socks are turning. I having bad second sock syndrome with the second one. I am now at the heel portion, but I am having a really hard time keeping on track with this. I really wish I were done by now. This is a new pattern that I'm working on, so I wish I could just finish it and send it to my test knitters and publish it. I mean, I could send it to test knitters, but I don't know. I am very scared. Honestly, I don't send it to test knitters because I'm very scared that they will finish before I do, which has happened before. So I'm going to wait until I finish them before sending them out. So that's that. That is one of my works in progress. It has grown since the last time I showed you, I think I only have the beginning of the first sock. And then my other work in progress, which has also made an advance, but it's now interrupted, is my shawl. I'm designing this shawl for Interpretations Volume 7. It's a triangular shawl. I'm using a fade set from Barnyard Knits. It was not a set, it was colorways that I put together when I visited their booth at Vogue Knitting Live, and I'm using 3 colors. So the first one is my favorite, it's this green. It's called Leaf. Let me show you the 3 balls. So the first one is called Leaf. I don't know, my window is there, so it's kind of, I should put it here in my face. The first one is Leaf, it's green. The second color is Flowering Dogwood, which is a perfect in between these two. So the last one, the pink one, is called Renaissance? No. Okay, let me check. I don't have my tags here with me. What is it called? Okay, I'll put it in the show notes. I promise to work on show notes today. It's not Baroque or Renaissance, but not Primrose, something like that. And then this one is Flowering Dogwood. Yes, so this is sock yarn from Barnyard Knits. I fade the first color into the second one, and then there's a band of just the second color, and now I have started fading the third color in, and it's interrupted because now it's big enough that I have to start the lace that I'm going to make in the end of the shawl, and I need to chart that and plan it very carefully. So now this project is on standby. But yes, probably next journal I will show you a bit of how the lace is going. Then yes, so those are my works in progress, and I'm really tempted to cast on a new one, but I haven't. Last week I barely knitted. We have been working for Joji and Company, Joji and Co really hard. I think I told you guys that we have built an office in our backyard. We rented a space from our neighbor next door, so we can access that room from our backyard. So we have been building the office, the shelving. Last year, we were completely overwhelmed by the bag company, and we had stock everywhere. We couldn't count how many bags we had. That meant that often we would sell more bags than we had, or we said we don't have any more of these bags, and then we found another lot of them hidden somewhere in our office room. This is our home office room for Charlie, and yes, so that was a bit of a mess, and so we now finally have a dedicated space for all our inventory. And Moni, my sister-in-law, Charlie's sister, she's working with us, and she has her office out there, so she's now working. And yes, so but doing that took like setting the office up and getting the furniture and recounting all our stock and setting a space for all our wholesale accounts. That took like a week of our work, and therefore I wasn't able to knit. But I'm happy about that, because I had several weeks where I had really made good progress on my projects, and also that means that because we're so organized, I will have a lot more time to create and do things that I love. So it was worth it, even if it meant that I didn't get to knit so much. It was totally worth it. So I'm very tempted to start a new design, but I also know that I have two things that I want to work on this winter. So the first one is this design that I started last year. It's a lace cardigan, very complex design that I'm making. It's a sideways combined kind of project. It's taking me a long time. I started this probably back in September, October, September. And then this was all that I was working on. This is Madelinetosh yarn. It's their Tosh Tweed. Let me see if I have a tag. I don't think so. It's their Tosh Tweed, and I think the colorway was Arctic. And one of the main reasons why I stopped is that first, it was kind of complicated and my life was too complicated for this design, but then also I was posting about this design, and then Jasmine, my friend at Madelinetosh, she wrote to me and letting me know that they were discontinuing this yarn. So I didn't know whether to continue, I don't know, I was debating whether I should just frog the entire thing and like use the yarn for something else, for like a home project or something. I really like this color. I think it's a beautiful color. It ended up being Pantone color of the year, so I was like, I had picked a really good color, and I was very frustrated. But then I met Jasmine at VK Live. She was at Jimmy Bean's wool booth, and she told me that they are not discontinuing this yarn. It's actually one of the yarns that they decided to keep after Madelinetosh was sold to Jimmy Bean's wool. Of course, Jasmine still works. Her work is just the same. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy I didn't frog this design because I had worked a few weeks on this huge lace panel. And so I might bring this back probably after I finish the socks. I need to revisit my notes and see what I had written. I know I had made a chart with the lace that I'm using. So thanks goodness, apparently some of the work was done. So yeah, I will have to get reacquainted with this. And then the other project that I want to bring back to life is my sweater for my son, Nano, which is living in my beautiful bag from Hide & Hammer. And so let's see, I haven't opened this project bag in who knows how long. Let's see. Okay, so I don't think this is going to fit him anymore. Oh my. Okay, it will fit his brother if it doesn't. So I was making a sweater for my eldest son, Nano, and I was using Nightshades yarn by Harrisville Nightshades in this almost all gray shade. This is, the colorway is called Static. There you go. And I used, I don't even remember what kind of stitch pattern I used. I have no idea. I just know that there was a problem with the side panels that were not aligning so well. They were not lying flat. But no, it was good. It was good size, and I blocked the body and it looked good on him. Now it's of course all wrinkled because it's been inside this project bag for so long, but yeah, I have to work on the sleeves and it should be done for this winter. I don't know if he'll wear it. He's grown so much. Nano is now 13. He's about to start his high school. He went to his first day at school last week. It was sort of like a meeting to get to know his classmates, and the school was showing them how the cafeteria works and such. He's very independent. He wants to go everywhere by himself, which is great. But he's like making a point of how grown up he is, and He's very peculiar with clothes. Everything has to be very plain. I think I talked about this before in the journal. Everything has to be very, very plain. No drawings, no... I don't know. He doesn't like anything that stands out. And when we were visiting... What was that? Yes, when we went to the US, one day we went clothes shopping with my mother and the whole family. We went shopping for clothes in Uniqlo, and I said, would you like to buy another hoodie? Because they used to go to a school where they have a school uniform, and now he will just be wearing regular kids' clothes. And so I said, do you want to get another hoodie so that you have options to go to school? And he says, why do I need options? I already have one hoodie. I don't need another hoodie, which I thought was, of course, very logical, but that makes me wonder if he'll ever want to wear this sweater that I am making for him. Anyway, that's my beautiful son, Nano, and the sweater that I'm making for him. I'm hoping to bring this back to life also after I finish something, probably the socks. I have one finished object, but before talking about that finished object, I'll show you the pattern that I published recently. I showed you this pattern last journal. I told you that I was going to publish it very, very soon, and here it is. It's my wool and berries pullover, which was published last Thursday, and everyone was so enthusiastic about it, and I was so happy. I have to be honest with you. I struggle every time that I put out a very basic and simple pattern. I'm not so sure that I like to put out things that are easy to design, easy to make. And I had shown this design in the journal a few times, and people were commenting on other things, and no one was saying anything about wool and berries. And so I was like, yeah, okay, maybe it's too basic for knitters, and maybe they don't like it so much. Yeah, so I do pay attention to the things you say, and I was kind of scared that knitters wouldn't like it, not just because, of course, it's my work and I always want people to like what I make, but also because this was a collaboration with a dyer and I wanted to be a good thing for her. And I know that she's a young business and the dyer works super, super hard, and I really wanted to promote her work and what she makes. So if people didn't pay a lot of attention, then I wouldn't be achieving that goal. But it was great. It received a lot of love. I hope that Bethany did very, very well and sold a lot of kits because she's adorable. Anyway, this is Wool and Berries, and the name is inspired by the company who dyed this yarn, which is called Woolberry Yarn Company. And the funny thing is that I didn't pick the colors that I was going to work on. I just told Bethany what I wanted to make. We planned this project last year. I know that I got the yarn back in May. And so when I was knitting this sweater, my mom helped me knit some sections of it. When I was knitting this sweater, I realized that this gray beigey color is a very woolly color, and then this purple color looks like grapes. So I thought, well, that's a really nice coincidence because it looks like wool and berries, which is basically the name for the company. So I decided to name the sweater Wool and Berries, and it was nice. It was a nice design to work on. It was really straightforward. I was very, very scared that I wouldn't make it to the deadline because I started way too late working on this. But I did. I managed to make it in time. Everything was perfect according as planned. And this is probably the last collaboration I had that is not interpretations in my plans. I don't have any new or further collaborations planned, and so I'm just going to focus on interpretations and getting that done in time for our photo shoot. This sweater is a pullover that is worked from the top down. These bands are faux button bands. There aren't really buttonholes. It's just little bands that you start for the shoulders, worked in a different direction, as you can see. And then you just sew the buttons on, and it looks like you actually have a button band there, but it's not so difficult to make, and it's not so difficult to wear, because I would think that these button bands would be gapping here in the shoulders. I understand the use for them for babies, but not for adults so much. So, but I do like the look of the buttons over the shoulders. It has some short rows here for the shoulder slopes. If you are a beginner knitter, I would say this is probably the only kind of complicated part, because you have to work short rows. They are not complicated. There are tons of tutorials that will teach you how to make them, but it's the only thing that I would say when I was learning how to knit at first, I didn't know how to make a short row, so I could have been intimidated by that part. Everything else is just maybe ribbing here, knit 1 per 1, not even a complicated ribbing, and then there is no shaping for the body. Ribbing and ribbing and ribbing. It's a very plain, beginner-friendly sweater. The yarn that I used is beautiful. It's a cashmere merino blend. Very soft, very luxurious. It's kind of expensive. The kits are pricey, but if it's within your budget, I recommend that you give it a try. It's very, very nice. Yeah. So I use the colors, a single pearl is the gray, and then Flora is the purple, by Woolberry Fiber Company, and this is a DK weight. The pattern is written in 9 sizes. My size that I'm showing in the photos is size 3, and it's similar to a medium large. Size 9 will be similar to my usual 5XL, which is usually for 60 inches bust plus the added positive ease, which I don't remember how much positive is I included for this one, but it's all in Ravelry's pattern page. So if you purchased a copy, thank you so much, and I truly appreciate. And if it's not your style, but if you left a nice comment, thank you also so much, because that helps me a ton to stay motivated. Okay, so then I'll show you my finished object, which is one that I'm most proud of. So this is the sweater that I showed you last journal when I recorded with my mom. I was just starting it, and it grew super quickly. This sweater is made in a very, very short time. This is my worthy pullover. If you want to know more about the name and why I decided to make this design and the yarn that I'm using, you can watch journal number 45, the previous episode, where I talk a lot more about it. But it's my project to design with affordable yarns. And this time I have chosen Lion Brand Wool Ease, which is an 80% acrylic, 20% blend, easily available in many countries, but not every country. So if you plan to substitute this yarn for this design, you can use any worsted weight, beautiful yarn. It doesn't have to be acrylic. It can be any luxurious yarn like the one I just showed. It can be 100% acrylic. It can be cotton. It can be another blend. I'm just using this brand because it's a brand that it's perceived as something affordable, and I want to use easily available affordable materials. I love the yarn that I used. I loved it really, really much. Here's the sweater in full. I have to say, the sweater that I showed you before, the yarn was sent to me. My review is very honest, and I love the Woolberry. The yarn is called Berry Cashmere. I love that yarn. It's gorgeous. This yarn that I'm showing you now was not sent to me. I picked this yarn myself after asking for recommendations, and I have to say that I will be buying more of this yarn because it's simply incredibly nice. It knits up beautifully. It's nice on the hands, on the fingers. It doesn't have any unpleasant feeling sometimes when I work with acrylic, I get this plasticky sensation over my fingers, and it's fine. I just go ahead and knit with it, but this one feels really woolly, even though 80% is acrylic. I blocked my sweater. I was going to steam it. I was going to try steaming it very carefully, but I don't think I will. I just soaked my sweater in lukewarm water for a day because I forgot that I was soaking it. So that is also proof that this yarn doesn't bleed at all because it was a full day with soap in a bucket and I completely forgot. And yes, so then I just lay it flat over a towel, and it just dried really nice. And even though I can see that there are some areas that could be a little bit more open, I'm not sure that I would want them to be more open. So I'm gonna try this on. I haven't tried it on ever since I blocked it. I hope the size didn't change much because it was just perfect. When I finished it, we'll see. I really like it. I'm very happy. It's just very, very nice. I really like it. So it's a raglan, and it has a nicely shaped neckline. I'm very, very peculiar about necklines. You already know that. I can't stand a raglan that doesn't have a perfect neckline. And it has different rate of increases for the body and the sleeves, so that it just works out for every size. It has a lace column running down the arms, and then this nice lacy bubble design down the front and down the back. Okay, now I'm very hot. So I used 3 balls of the lighter gray, and I used 2 of the darker gray. And the names are Grey Heather and Oxford Grey. The total cost for this sweater was $20 plus shipping for the yarn. And yes, so I'm writing the pattern this week. I was going to last week, but well, I told you I was working at the office and I couldn't really focus on anything else. So it should be ready probably for April. So that's my finished object of today. That is my knitting finished object, but I have news. I have been sewing again. That is thanks to the fact that we moved everything that was all the bags and all the stock we had in that room we moved it to the office outside, so I could put my sewing machine back in there and my ironing table back in there, and I could sew beads. Last Saturday I was not able to sleep. I woke up really early and I was feeling a bit anxious, and I decided to come downstairs and pick something to sew. The first thing I sewed is this top. Okay, just one sec. I'm gonna tie the little bow tie. Okay, the first thing I sewed is this top that has a little bow tie here. It's called the Jily top, Jily, and it's by the designer Ready to Sew. And this is the back, and this is the front. It has 3 back pieces, 1, 2, 3, and then the back piece, the bottom pieces are double, so you can see. The front is 1 piece in the top, 1 piece in the bottom, and it's also double layer here. And it has an all-in-one facing, so it has a facing for the back piece and then a facing here for the front. I don't know if you can see. No, you can see, but it's it has a facing there. And so I really like this design. I had made this top before in black, and we used it for one of our photo shoots. So I decided to make it again, and I am probably going to make it yet again because I really like to wear. Well, as you can see, I get really hot in the summer, and I like sleeveless tops, and it's not easy to find sleeveless t-shirts. It's not so easy to find sleeveless stuff. There are a lot of things that I can find with spaghetti straps, but I prefer sleeveless with proper straps tops. Yes, so let me tell you about the fabric. This fabric is 100% cotton poplin, but very silky. It's very densely woven. In fact, it was very hard to sew. I think I broke a couple of needles because when I was going through 3 or 4 layers of the fabric, my machine kept missing stitches, like jumping stitches, same as it would if your needle is broken. But the thing is that I replaced my needle several times, and my machine was just not having it. It was very hard to sew, and as I was pinning the pieces also, it was almost impossible to put a pin through both layers of the fabric, and I have really thin pins, so it's definitely the fabric. Yes, so this cotton poplin actually should look like this. This is what the fabric should look like. Just one sec, let me go get a piece of the good fabric. So a while ago, my friend Ale and I went fabric shopping, and I saw this cone on the shelves, and I said, oh, I like that fabric, can I have that? And the guy says, no, that fabric is just something that went wrong. And then he showed me that the fabric was supposed to look like this, but the dye just bled and ruined the fabric. So you can see now here it's better, and then it starts bleeding and running, and it just ruined the fabric. And I really liked the ruined section, so I said, can I take it? And he was not happy to give it to me. He said, no, but it's not, this is not good fabric. And I said, I know, I want to make something out of it. And then I thought he would give it to me for free, but he just charged me for it a lot less than He would have, but he didn't just give the bad fabric to me. Anyway, I did some planning when I was cutting the pattern pieces, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I recommend this pattern a lot. It's really straightforward. There are no mistakes in it that I found. I made size 12. It fits me perfectly. No modifications. I am very proud of these reversible straps here. This all-in-one facing was kind of hard to make, but I did it, and I love it. I love the way it fits. I'm really proud of it. Things that I don't like, that I wish I was better at, my understitching is not so neat. You probably cannot see it, but I just wish I was better at understitching. You can see a little bit here that the lines are not so even. It was hard to sew this fabric. You wouldn't think this is so hard to sew. It was very hard to sew. But I'm super pleased. I might make another one in the good fabric or the better fabric or the original fabric. So I might make another one in this color, although I'm not sure that I would. This is something that I would pick for myself. This is definitely something that I would have purchased. Anyway, that is Jily top by Ready to Sew, and I purchased the pattern in English in a PDF version, and I printed the pattern at home, and I taped it together, and it just worked fine. It takes very little fabric, probably under 1 meter, and it doesn't require anything special like interfacing or anything like that. So that's my first sewing FO. And then the other thing that I sewed, both of these were made on the same day, is are the trousers that I'm wearing today, that you probably saw when I tried the sweater on and when I went to the other room. Let's see if I can bring my computer a bit closer. Come here. There you go. Okay, so these are my new culottes or white pants. I am super happy about them. I am very self-conscious modeling my sewn garments, but I think that sometimes when someone models something, it helps me see if that is something that will work for me, for my body shape. So I just gave you a runway show of what my new trousers look like on me. These are the Botanic Trousers by Pauline Alice. And yes, so this is the 4th time that I make these culottes. I made them in black the first time. I was trying the pattern out with my friend Ale, and I picked the size according to my hip measurement, which was probably size 44, and they were too big. They were really big. It's true, you can tie them at the waist, and there's a part of it that has an elastic, but they were really too big for me. They were perfect for Ale, so we decided that she should keep them because they looked perfect on her. Next, I decided to make myself another pair because I really liked the way they would have looked if they were good for me. So I made another pair in black linen, and I wore those for a long time. You can see those in the photographs for my Elton pattern. I'm wearing those trousers in black linen. but I still struggled with the sizing because in the front I could feel that they were too big in the front anyway. So what I would do, I would just pin them with a safety pin so that they were a little bit more gathered here, and then I would cover that with a tie. It has a waist tie, so I would cover that with a waist tie and I could wear them comfortably, but never too comfortably, because I always felt that I was just keeping my trousers together with a safety pin, and like depending on the waist tie, so that they wouldn't fall off. Then I made, about the same time, before I noticed that they were too big, I made another sample in white linen, which I lined. I probably showed this. I sewed a lot during 2018, and a lot of my journals include a lot of sewing back then, and then I did almost no sewing in 2019. And so the third pair of linen culottes were made in white, and I lined them with a lovely flesh-colored satin viscose, and they were worn by Vera for our photo shoot. She's wearing both the Jily top in black and the culottes in white for one of her shawl designs, and they looked perfect on her. But I think she would also agree that they were big. They were just very, very big, at the waist especially. So when I was sewing on Saturday, after bringing back the memories, after relearning how to sew, how to follow a pattern, how to pin the pieces and put things together, after finishing my Jily top, it was still 6 or 7 p.m. and I was very excited to have a creative day for myself. So I decided I might still have enough time to start a pair of trousers. So being how I am too anxious to do anything. I had already the pattern pieces cut for those culottes, and I love the black ones enough that I had worn them several times, even if they were too big. So I decided to just take that pattern out. I had some denim that I don't even know why I bought. Every fabric that I use is very cheap. It's like bargain cheap. So that I had this denim fabric in my stash, and I decided to cut a pair of these trousers. So first of all, I cut the pattern pieces down to the size 40. So instead of making size 44 and then adjusting it, I went down to size 40. I could use the same pattern pieces because the pattern is very simple, so I just cut through the line for the size 40. And then when I was trying them on, I could see that still the waist, the whole thing was just too big for me, because I have wide hips, but my waist is not tiny, but it's smaller compared to my hips. So I took out probably about 2 inches from the back and 1 inch or 1.5 inches for the front. It took quite a bit. So I graded them. I took out from this seam quite a bit, and from this seam also. And then when I cut these trousers only have an elastic band here in the back, and they are flat here in the front. As you can see, they are flat. So I made this section smaller, and then when I cut the elastic for the back, I cut it a lot smaller than it said for my size, so it's a lot tighter in the back. I barely had enough fabric left to make a tie. I didn't have enough fabric to make it as written in the pattern. So I just cut everything that I had and just sewed the pieces together in different locations to make a tie. And no one will know that it's made out of different pieces. So these are my Botanic trousers in size 40 with a smaller waist. And can you see what I did? My mistake? So I folded all the pleats to the left. These pleats are supposed to face out like this, and I just made a left-leaning trousers, which is fine. I thought I was not going to be able to live with it. I thought it would drive me crazy, and I would end up, I don't know if I would have fixed them, but I wouldn't probably, I thought I was not going to want to wear them, but I'm just fine. I actually think that I like the fact that they go left. They look more modern, like someone did that on purpose. So that is my mistake, and the thing that I wish I had done better. The sewing for this one I'm happy with. It was much easier to sew thick denim and several layers of it. It was much easier than sewing 3 layers of the fabric that I used for the top. So that's that. I didn't modify the length. The length is as written, and probably, if you ask me, these trousers are the most comfortable garment that I have. That's why I have made them a few times. If I could dress somehow, like in one way, every day, I would probably dress as I am dressing today. Sandals, sleeveless top, and my very, very wide and comfortable trousers that give me no stomach ache or leg, or sometimes when I'm wearing my skinny jeans, I think that it just cuts my circulation and my legs get very swollen, and I don't like that. I don't know who would like that. But these trousers are just the most comfortable thing ever. So I recommend both patterns. You will see that I keep making the same patterns over and over again. That is the best way that I have to tell you that this is a pattern that I would recommend over and over again. So that is my sewing for today, and my finished objects. Sorry about that. Then I have 2 things that I still want to talk about. Some new things are coming to Joji and Company that I'll show, and also this just arrived. This arrived last Friday. It's the latest issue of Pompom magazine. This is issue 32, the spring issue, and my design is in the cover. If you haven't watched my previous journal, I talk a lot about Susurrus pullover, and when this arrived home, I cried a lot. So Pompom sent 2 copies, one for me and one for my mom. It arrived super fast by regular mail. If you're in Argentina, don't be worried. It took 2 weeks, more or less. It didn't come by courier or anything fancy, just regular Correo Argentino, and I didn't have to pay any custom fees or anything, because this is books and they are not taxed in our customs. So feel free to order from Pompom. The shipping is great. And yeah, of course, I couldn't be more excited about this issue. My design made it to the cover, and well, I talk about the styling and the model and the artistry behind this cover and what it felt to me. Also in last journal, I'm not going to go there again because I'll cry, but it's just it's just really, really, really wonderful. I love the way Pompom described each design. It says Susurrus sweater knit of springtime whispers. And then, for example, in page 14, Aloft, an escapist dream sweater. Obade, obeyed. Pullover for joining the dawn chorus. Niebla, misty mountain visions in a mohair top. Aperture, lace shawl to hearten new beginnings. I love this. This is incredibly sweet. Also, I love the editor's letter. I loved it. This is the spot they gave to my design, which is very, very special to me. I already talked about this with them. I called them when it arrived. Photography, art direction by Ocean Rose. It's beautiful. And then there's a tutorial for this gorgeous flower arrangement that you can find in the magazine, also written by Ocean Rose. There's an interview to Jacqueline Cieslak, which I'm eager to read. I haven't been able to because I was sewing all day after this arrived. Jacqueline is an activist and very important voice for the inclusion of all different types of bodies in publications and pattern grading. And yes, so all the patterns are here, as you can see. I know that a lot of people have purchased Pompom for the first time because of this issue, and that makes me very happy. But all the issues of Pompom are really amazing. So I truly recommend, if you can, to get a copy. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. This is the list of yarns that they use. Yes, Pompom. And then we have some new things coming to Hojian Company. I thought I would show you some because people sometimes say you didn't show this or you didn't show that. And I think that I already told you I'm a bit embarrassed to show everything that we sell in the podcast, but I brought two new exciting things. So the first one that I'll show you is our Easy Tote. This is our larger project bag. It has a zipper top and it has a flat pocket and also a zipper pocket, and it has a clasp, and then you can use it in two positions. So okay, hold on. I'm gonna go get a strap to show you this. Just one sec. I'm back. So this is the strap that we send with our Easy Tote, how we call it, Easy Tote. And so, by the way, this is our new color. It's a new color, gray. I think it's a special edition. We don't know if we'll make it regular, but we just made a batch of these and they will go to the shop probably this Friday. Anyway, so one position is the crossbody option. The strap comes in two size options, so 1 and 2, and we recommend size 1 for bust size up to 44, 46. We recommend size 2 for larger than that. So if you pull the strap through the loops, through the brass loops on the sides, you can use the Easy Tote as a cross body bag, like this. Like this. Like this. And then also, if you take the strap out of the loops, I'm not really showing what I'm doing, am I? If I take the strap off the loops like this, I can reposition it to make it the backpack. So I start by looping it through one of these leather tabs. This takes a minute, but I rather do it here on video so that this is the part that takes a bit of work. You have to loop it through both openings, and they are tight so that the bag is secure. So you thread it through both like that. The snap indicates the center of the strap. And last, I loop the other end and fasten the rivets. Once you start using your bag a bit more, the snaps are easier, everything's a bit faster, but the first time it just takes a bit more time. So now you have a very secure backpack. Like that, ta-da, you're ready to go. So this is our convertible easy tote in the gray color, and they should be up on our website on Friday. And the other product that we are very excited about, but we don't know yet when we will be selling them because we are making another colors, but I wanted to show you guys in video. These are our CBA totes. CBA comes from a province in Argentina called Cordoba. So those are the letters we use to refer to Cordoba. This is an all leather tote. This is coated suede. As you can see the beautiful suede in this blush pink inside. I just love this tote so much. So this is completely made of leather. It has one big pocket on the outside, and it has another big leather pocket on the inside, big enough for your keys and phone and wallet. And then on the inside it has, on the bottom it has this flat base that gives the bag a lot more structure than a regular tote, and it's doubled up. So if you look in the bottom, you can see the metallic side of the leather. That means that there are 2 layers of leather in the bottom to make it super, super sturdy and durable and awesome. So you can store a lot of projects here. Let's put my sweater in there. Let's put my work in progress in there with my straight needles. And also let's put my Pompom magazine in the pocket, and the yarn that I'm going to give away, 3 more skeins there. And everything is super nice. I adore this bag. I'm not keeping one because I feel anxious when I have too many things. But I think both of them are incredible. I mean, Ese is our most popular bag, the convertible one. It's just so versatile and so secure with the zipper, and it's just, we have received a lot of compliments on that design, but Cordoba is also very, very nice. So for Cordoba, we are making this using this coated metallic leather. Why are we making them in coated metallic? Because if we use just regular suede, it's just too flimsy. It doesn't have the same structure. We need the coating to give it a lot more body, and therefore we're only using the metallic ones that we could find and in other supplier. We have already sold a lot of these in red, but now we're making 5 new colors, and we think that we'll wait for all colors to be here so that we can have a big sale and a big on shop update. So if you want to get one of these, there are more chances if we have all the colors in store and not just one and then another and then another and then another. So that's shop news for Joji & Company. And then lastly, I am going to talk about the giveaway. So I have today 3 skeins of this beautiful yarn from Baah yarns. These were a gift from my friend Myra from Baah Yarns, and I'm sure she'll be happy to know that I'm giving them as a giveaway in my journal. This is her La Jolla base. It's 100% superwash merino, and the colorway is called Irish Moss, and this is this gorgeous green yellow with black speckles. It's just amazing. There are 3 skeins for some sizes, for only the really small sizes. This is enough for a whole sweater, but you will have enough for a very large wrap or shawl, whatever your size is. So I'm going to give everyone 2 weeks to comment on this video, and I'm going to ship them from home worldwide, so you can participate wherever you are. So what I ask you to do is, here at Joji & Co, we always want to create new projects, always. We don't just stay with the projects that we're comfortable with or that we know everyone likes. We always want to create new collaborations, new tools, new bags, new whatever, things that we might not have thought of. We might be able to manufacture them and produce them here in Buenos Aires. So what would be a product that you would like us to work for Joji & Co? That is what I would like you to write here below in the comments of YouTube. And then we are going to draw a random winner among the people who leave a comment. Whatever your project idea is, your recommendation would be really, really appreciated. And if you want to tell a friend to come and participate in the drawing, feel free to do so. But we don't like forcing people to follow us. So only if they feel happy commenting and leaving us a comment, then yes, feel free to do so. Thank you for watching this much, and I hope you enjoyed today's journal, and see you next time. Bye bye.